In terms of content, actual gameplay features, the latest few updates for Apex Legends honestly knock it out of the park, at least in terms of the casual experience. The trouble is, there aren't any casual players left to enjoy it. We've got a lot of competitive players looking to farm stats and get their 20 bomb badges and 4K badges, which can't be done in this new mode, which is quite strange. Well, for the entirety of the season, in fact, trios and duos you can't get badges. And it's also extremely unbalanced, with most things being extremely overpowered. But for me personally, I've really enjoyed it. There are so many different weapon variants, returning items, new guns, new experiences. You know, you got the EPG, you've got special hop-ups in all of the guns, you've got returning OG variants of guns. There's honestly so much content in the game right now, in the pub playlist, that you could spend hours and still not experience it all. It is honestly as expansive as I could ever have hoped Apex Legends to be. And if this game was in its prime and still had all the players, it would be doing so well right now. But the trouble is, all the casual players have gone, and I want to kind of draw comparisons between it and Marvel Rivals, because there's something that I've noticed about Apex Legends that is a bit of a shame, and it's not just Apex either. I think it's game dev and live service games as a whole, and the decisions that devs make can kind of put the game in a situation like this, where you don't have any casual players left to enjoy the content that they're putting out. The main issue comes down to goodwill. Goodwill is something that companies really need to find a right balance for. Let's be honest, Apex Legends, like every other game out there, is a product made by a business, and the number one priority for that game is, well, I wouldn't say number one priority, at least it shouldn't be, but the overall goal is to bring in revenue. That's the point. It is a product, and we do have to accept that. That is the fact. However, the way that companies go about getting revenue from their games has become really quite frustrating over recent years. It's become the point where mostly AAA devs and publishers have tried their hardest to squeeze every last penny out of cosmetics, DLCs, day one or day -1 early access, and all of this stuff to try and get as much money out of us gamers as possible. And the honest truth about all of that is, we're not really stupid like they may hope. We kind of are aware of this fact, and we get frustrated when it becomes so obvious that they're just trying to squeeze every last penny out of us. Now, the honest truth about this is it's really hurting them more than they may realize. Which brings me back to the whole goodwill thing and how it draws comparisons to Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals came out the gate swinging because of a few reasons. Firstly, the gameplay is great. Secondly, the IP, it's Marvel, you know. But there have been many bad Marvel games before that have completely flopped on launch. So it's not like Marvel can carry a game on its own. What's special about Marvel Rivals that I think is often overlooked and really shows and highlights the major problems of gaming these days is the fact that the devs try very hard to farm goodwill from the community. Now, whether it's an intentional choice because they want to keep the game successful, or they just are really wholesome guys who want to make an awesome game, the end result doesn't really matter. What we're getting is content that we like, decisions that we like, and an experience that doesn't feel frustrating when it comes down to monetization. Let me explain what I'm talking about in a bit more detail. Firstly, the Battle Pass. If you've purchased the Battle Pass, you don't have to have a limited amount of time to complete it. You have forever to complete the challenges. It won't expire so long as you've purchased it. On top of that, most of the events, well actually, there have been 2 events so far. Every single event has had a free, super high quality skin available. They had the Jeff the Shark winter skin, and now they're doing a Lunar New Year event, and there will be a free skin in that as well. And these skins are really high quality. There are challenges that are usually needed to be done to unlock them, but they aren't just kind of, you know, simple recolors. These are skins that have taken a lot of dev time to make, and they're giving it away for free. Now, at the same time, they are still selling skins, they are still selling battle passes, and there is a lot of stuff in the store to purchase, don't get me wrong, but they're giving us a lot of stuff and a lot of content, and they're making all the right decisions to make the community go, you know what, I like this game, which allows the game to thrive and succeed, and it brings back the casual players who may not care so much about the balancing and nitty-gritty details. They just want to try new content. Oh, the new Marvel Rivals update literally has a football mode, which is really cool, and they don't want to feel burned out by the developers who are behind the project. And I think that one of the issues is that it's become too common practice for devs to just get away with taking too much money from its consumers, and nowadays we're seeing a bit of a shift. People are starting to get clocked on about how frustrating it is, and that we don't have to buy into all of this stuff, and that developers can actually do a better job of it and come out with a better product. So in that case earlier, I did say that we don't really know the intentions behind the Marvel Rifle dev team. Like, they may have intentionally sat down and gone, how can we make sure our community like us as much as possible? But then they actually went ahead and made those decisions, even if it does hurt their profits a little bit. And the results are the game is far more popular and they bring in a lot more money. It's funny how if a developer does treat their customers first and give them a good experience, the profits can come later, which kind of goes full circle to the first point where I slipped up and said money should be the #1 priority for a game. Well, it doesn't have to be, and it really shouldn't be. I really want to say that I have actually been enjoying playing Apex Legends recently. Every time I have played it and tried the pub experience, it's been fun. There's always been new things to look forward to, new weird wacky modes and guns and gameplay, and all the balance changes have been just completely drastic. For me, as a long-term Apex Legends player, I generally have had fun. I'm not into the competitive side of things. I couldn't care too much about balance. I mean, I know there's ranked, so they could keep the balancing in that mode, but for pubs, the more crazy carnage, the better. It's fun, it's unique, and breathes fresh air into the game. That's my personal opinion, but it's making the game feel fresh again. And I really hope that casual players can come back to this game, because they are missing out on a lot of what Apex has become. And the main issue is, the only way casual players are going to come back is Respawn is going to need to farm a lot of goodwill. Just like the Marvel Rivals devs are giving away free skins and dropping a bunch of cool stuff for free, Respawn have to do something. Respawn need to do something to make the community go, you know what, these devs are doing a good job. Let's play the game more. Let's spend some money, you know, because that's the kind of mindset that most Marvel Rivals players have. You can go read through all the comments on YouTube and Reddit of people saying, I don't usually buy battle passes. I don't usually buy skins, but the dev team's doing such a good job that I felt like I should. And they're raking in so much money. So I hope that this kind of is a new era for gaming. You know, this may be the first. I mean, Helldivers kind of did it as well, although there have been some issues with Helldivers, the dev team there. But there have been some great successful examples now of dev teams not going too hard on monetization and reaping the rewards because of it. So perhaps it will become the new trendy business decision to not go overboard with cosmetics and monetization and actually treat your gamers like real people who just want to have fun. Once that decision is made at the higher level across all of these top publishers who are, especially in the West, receiving a lot of poor results on their latest releases, then the whole world of gaming is going to be such a good time. So I'm excited for the future of Apex Legends if the devs can follow suit and get this right, and I'm excited for the future of gaming as a whole. It's been a lot of good fun to play Apex casually, and Marvel Rivals has really saved everything for me when it comes to games. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on it all, and I'm still hopeful, not massively, but hopeful that Apex can still have a booming future if they make the right decisions, because the gameplay is great. They just need to stop annoying their players. What do you think? Let me know, and I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio!